You are not as weak as you think. And today, I'm going to prove it to you. You may not realize it yet, but deep inside you, there is a strength that has survived storms you never speak about. There is a courage that kept you moving even on the days when your heart felt empty and your mind felt tired. You look at yourself and often see only your failures, your mistakes, your fears, and your insecurities. But life has already tested you more than you acknowledge, and every test you survived proves that you are stronger than you think. Most people underestimate their strength because they judge themselves only in their moments of struggle. When you fall, you call yourself weak. When you feel confused, you call yourself lost. When you feel tired, you call yourself broken. But you forget that feeling tired does not mean you have no strength, it simply means you have used too much of it. Feeling lost does not mean you have no direction, it only means you are in the process of discovering a new one. Falling does not mean failure, it means you are still trying. Weakness is not your identity, weakness is only a feeling, and feelings are temporary. Strength is not loud. It does not scream. It does not shine like a spotlight. Real strength is often quiet. It is the strength you showed when you kept going even when no one noticed. It is the strength you carried when you wiped your tears and told yourself to try again. It is the strength that helped you survive moments you thought would break you forever. You are not weak, you are simply unaware of how strong you truly are. Think about your past for a moment. Think about the difficult times you never expected to survive. Think about the heartbreaks, disappointments, betrayals, and failures that once felt impossible to bear. Yet here you are. You made it through. You rebuilt yourself again and again. That is not weakness. That is power. That is inner stamina. That is emotional strength. Weak people do not survive storms, strong people do. You survived because you are strong. The problem is not that you are weak. The problem is that you rarely give yourself credit for your strength. You notice your mistakes but ignore your victories. You notice your fears but ignore your courage. You notice your imperfections but ignore your growth. You think you are weak because you compare yourself to people who hide their struggles behind a perfect mask. Everyone you admire has their own silent battles. Everyone you envy has their own invisible wounds. No one is as perfect as they appear. And you are not as weak as you believe. Strength also means choosing kindness in a world that often rewards cruelty. It means holding on to hope when everything seems dark. It means trying again after every disappointment. It means waking up each day even when life feels heavy. You have done all of this again and again. That is not weakness. That is strength. You must also understand that strength is not the absence of fear. Strength is moving forward even when fear walks beside you. Strength is not the absence of doubt. Strength is choosing action even when doubt whispers in your ear. Strength is not the absence of pain. Strength is standing up even when your heart aches. So the next time you feel afraid, remember that fear does not erase your strength. It simply means you are standing at the edge of something new. Maybe right now you feel lost. Maybe your mind is tired. Maybe your heart feels heavy. Maybe you think your life is stuck. Maybe you think you are not capable enough. But these thoughts are just shadows. They do not define you. They do not determine your future. You are allowed to feel tired. You are allowed to take a break. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to be human. None of these things make you weak. They make you real. You are stronger than your anxiety. You are bigger than your fears. You are deeper than your doubts. You are more capable than you imagine. Life is not finished with you yet. There are still many victories waiting for you. There are still many opportunities that will open when the time is right. There are still many moments where your strength will shine brighter than you expect. And remember, strength is built slowly. Every challenge grows you. Every failure teaches you. Every heartbreak softens you. Every setback shapes you. Every fall pushes you. And every rise transforms you. You are constantly becoming stronger, even when you don't feel it happening. You have survived 100% of your worst days. That alone proves your strength. You have overcome pain that you thought would last forever. That proves your resilience. You have stood up every time life knocked you down. That proves your courage. You are not weak. You are simply growing. You are healing. You are evolving. You are becoming someone stronger than the person you were yesterday. And one day, you will look back at this moment, the moment when you doubted yourself, and you will smile, because you will finally understand that this phase was not the end. It was the beginning. A beginning of a stronger, wiser, braver version of you. You are not as weak as you think. You never were. You never will be. Are not as weak as you think, and part 2 of your journey is about realizing the strength that has been silently shaping you from the inside. Every day you wake up and face the world, you are proving your resilience. Every time you choose to continue, even when you don't feel ready, you are building a stronger version of yourself. You might not see the transformation yet, but it is happening. Growth is often invisible in the moment, but obvious when you look back. People often assume they are weak because their progress does not look dramatic. They think something is wrong with them because their life is not changing overnight. But strength is not built in explosions, it is built in persistence. Real strength grows slowly, quietly, almost softly. It grows through small decisions, tiny improvements, and steady efforts. You become stronger not by massive leaps, but by refusing to give up. Every time you choose not to quit, even when everything inside you feels heavy, you are showing strength that many people never develop. You underestimate yourself because you only focus on your struggles and not on your courage. You notice the pain you feel but ignore the bravery it took to endure it. You notice how lost you feel but ignore how far you have already come. You notice your fears but ignore the fact that you face them even when your heart shakes. You are not weak. You are courageous in ways you have never acknowledged. Sometimes your strength shows up in silence. When you keep calm in situations that once made you break down, that is strength. When you walk away from people or habits that harm your peace, that is strength. When you forgive people who never apologized, that is strength. When you choose to remain kind in a world that often misunderstands you, that is strength. When you continue to believe in your future despite your past, that is strength. Strength is not always loud. Sometimes it is the quiet decision to keep your heart open even after being hurt. You are also stronger because you are learning. Every experience you face, good or bad, teaches you something essential. The painful experiences teach you emotional maturity. The confusing ones teach you patience. The disappointing ones teach you wisdom. The unexpected ones teach you flexibility. And all of them together shape you into someone who understands life better. Weak people avoid learning, strong people absorb lessons. You are learning every day, and that means you are growing every day. Do not underestimate the strength it takes to carry emotional wounds while still searching for hope. Do not underestimate the strength it takes to rebuild trust after broken promises. Do not underestimate the strength it takes to believe in yourself when no one else does. You have carried the weight of your past quietly, without giving yourself any credit for how heavy it was. But the fact that you are still trying, still dreaming, still hoping, means you have a heart that refuses to be defeated. Your strength has also been hidden behind the responsibilities you fulfill every day. Maybe you take care of others, even when you feel tired. Maybe you continue working, even when life overwhelms you. Maybe you show up for people who rely on you, even when you feel empty. This is not weakness. This is loyalty. This is dedication. This is emotional courage. Many people collapse under pressure, but you keep moving. That is strength disguised as routine. There is a moment in every person's life when they finally realize that they have always been stronger than they believed. Sometimes this realization comes after overcoming something painful. Sometimes it comes after achieving something unexpected. Sometimes it comes after surviving a situation you never imagined you could handle. Your moment will come too. One day you will look at yourself and see the strength you've ignored for years. You will recognize your courage, your patience, your ability to overcome. You will finally see what others already see in you. What you must remember now is that vulnerability does not mean weakness. Many people confuse being emotional with being fragile. But the truth is, emotional depth is a form of strength. Feeling deeply means you are alive, aware, and capable of connection. Weak people avoid emotions because they are afraid of facing themselves. Strong people allow themselves to feel because they trust their ability to rise again. So never think your emotions make you weak. They make you human, and being human requires tremendous strength. You also need to understand that your journey is not meant to look like anyone else's. You have your own pace, your own challenges, your own timing. Comparing yourself to others will only steal your confidence. You may not be where you want to be yet, but you are on the path. The fact that you care, that you try, that you push forward, is proof that you are becoming stronger with every step. Strength is not only about where you end up, it's about how you keep moving even when the path is difficult. Your strength becomes clearer when you remember that you survived moments you never prepared for. You handled situations without guidance. You made choices without certainty. You healed from wounds without support. You rebuilt your life with limited resources. And you still found reasons to smile, to dream, to believe. Very few people can do that. That means your strength is not ordinary, it is powerful. Life will continue to test you, not because you are weak, but because you are capable of more than you realize. Every challenge that comes your way is preparing you for a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Life is not punishing you, it is strengthening you. Life gives its hardest lessons to those who are meant to rise with greater understanding. So when things get difficult, remind yourself, this is not the end. It is simply a chapter where your strength is being sharpened. You are becoming someone who can handle more, achieve more, and inspire more. You are becoming someone who will one day look back at these struggles with gratitude and always remember, strength is not about never falling. Strength is about rising every single time you fall. It is about refusing to let failure define you. It is about standing up after every disappointment. It is about believing in yourself when others doubt you. It is about trusting the process even when the results are not visible yet. You have done this many times before. You will continue to do it again. You are not as weak as you think. In fact, you have already proven your strength more times than you can count. You just need to open your eyes to your own courage. You need to speak to yourself gently. You need to stop calling yourself weak. You need to stop underestimating your power. You need to recognize that you are still here, still fighting, still dreaming, and that alone makes you strong. Your story is not over. Your strength is still rising. And the world has not yet seen the most powerful version of you. You are stronger than you think. Much stronger. Stronger in ways you are only beginning to understand. You are not as weak as you think, and the deeper you go into this journey, the more you begin to see how strength has been living inside you even when you felt broken. Part 3 of your story is about discovering the strength you never claimed, the strength that has been hiding behind your fears, your disappointments, and your doubts. There is a version of you that has survived storms without recognition. There is a version of you that has endured emotional battles no one knows about. You may feel tired, uncertain, or overwhelmed, but these feelings do not erase your strength. They simply show that you have been fighting for a long time. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who feel the weakest because they carry responsibilities that others never see. They protect others while no one protects them. They offer support even when they receive none. They stand for people even when they feel like collapsing. They keep their pain hidden to avoid burdening those they love. This does not make them weak. This makes them incredibly strong. You are one of those people. You have carried more than most people realize, and you have handled it with quiet courage. Strength is not always about how much you can endure, but about how much you can rise from. You have risen from disappointments that once felt like the end. You have risen from heartbreaks that wounded your soul. You have risen from moments of deep confusion when life made no sense. Every rise, no matter how small, is a sign of your power. Weak people stay down. But you got back up, again and again, even when you didn't feel ready. That alone proves you are far from weak. Most people think strength means being unaffected by pain. But real strength is being affected and still choosing to move forward. Real strength is crying and still continuing. Real strength is breaking down and still rebuilding. Real strength is acknowledging your fears and still taking steps toward your dreams. You are strong not because nothing hurts you, but because everything hurts you and you still refuse to give up. There have been moments when you felt like you were failing, when life felt too heavy, when your mind told you to quit. But you didn't quit. Maybe you slowed down. Maybe you paused. Maybe you needed time. But you never stopped completely. This persistence is the foundation of your strength. Anyone can keep going when life is easy. But only the strong keep going when life is tough. And you have done that more times than you can count. You may not believe it, but your presence has lightened someone else's burden. Your kindness has helped someone breathe easier. Your words have encouraged someone who was struggling. Your actions have inspired someone silently. You think you have done nothing special, but that's the thing about strength, it often looks ordinary from the inside. You only see how strong you truly are when you realize how many people you have uplifted without even trying. Life has given you challenges not to break you, but to prepare you. Every difficulty you have faced has added a new layer to your strength. The moments that felt unfair were shaping your endurance. The moments that felt lonely were teaching you self-reliance. The moments that felt painful were expanding your emotional depth. The moments that felt confusing were guiding you toward clarity. You were not being weakened, you were being refined. And even now, when you doubt yourself, when you question your decisions, when you feel stuck, remind yourself that feeling unsure does not make you weak. It makes you human. Every strong person has moments of doubt. Every brave person has moments of fear. Every successful person has moments of confusion. What makes them strong is not the absence of these moments, but the ability to move through them. You are doing the same. You are walking through uncertainty with a heart full of quiet courage. There are parts of you that are still healing, and that healing is itself a sign of strength. Healing takes patience. Healing takes honesty. Healing takes bravery. Healing requires you to face wounds you once avoided. Healing requires you to forgive yourself for mistakes you made when you didn't know better. Healing requires you to let go of people who hurt you, even if it breaks your heart. Weak people run from healing. But you are not running. You are staying. You are facing your truth. You are learning how to rebuild. And as you heal, you begin to understand that strength is not about being perfect. Strength is being imperfect and still worthy. Strength is having scars and still believing you deserve happiness. Strength is having a broken past but still believing in a brighter future. Strength is making peace with the parts of you that once made you feel ashamed. Strength is knowing that you are enough, even when you don't feel like it. Think about how many times you thought a certain pain would destroy you, but it didn't. Think about how many times you thought you would never recover, but you did. Think about how many times you thought you were alone, but somehow you found your way. These experiences are not signs of weakness. They are evidence of your extraordinary resilience. You must also remember that strength grows when you choose yourself. Every time you set boundaries, you become stronger. Every time you walk away from what no longer serves you, you become stronger. Every time you choose peace over chaos, you become stronger. Every time you say no to things that drain your energy, you become stronger. Every time you prioritize your mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, you become stronger. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. Life will test you again in the future. Hard days will come. Challenges will appear. But by the time they arrive, you will already be stronger than the version of yourself who is listening to these words right now. You will be more prepared, more resilient, and more aware of your inner strength. You will face the future with the wisdom of everything you have survived. And the world will see you differently too. They will see a person who has been broken but rebuilt. A person who has been hurt but healed. A person who has been lost but found their direction. A person who has carried pain but did not let it darken their soul. A person who stands tall not because life was easy, but because they chose strength every single day. You are not as weak as you think. You never were. You have simply been too busy surviving to notice your own courage. But now, as you reflect on your past and your journey, a new understanding begins to grow inside you. You begin to see the strength that was always there. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to walk with a quiet confidence. You begin to feel something powerful rising within you. A new chapter is coming. A stronger you is emerging. You are becoming someone who will inspire not only others but also yourself. You will look back one day and say, I didn't know I had that strength in me, but I did. And you still do. You have spent so long believing that you were weak because life felt heavy, but you never noticed that you were carrying burdens that would have crushed someone less resilient. Strength is not measured by how easy your life is. Strength is measured by how you continue moving even when everything is difficult. And you, despite everything you faced, kept moving. That means you were strong all along. In this final part, you must understand something important. The world has tried to convince you that strength looks loud, dramatic, and unstoppable. But your strength is quiet. Your strength is steady. Your strength is soft but unbreakable. You don't need to shout to be powerful. You don't need to dominate to be strong. Your resilience speaks for itself in the way you rise after every setback, in the way you still hope after every heartbreak, and in the way you continue loving even after being hurt. There were days when you wanted to stop, but you didn't. There were nights when you cried but still woke up the next morning and tried again. There were moments when you doubted everything, yet you still held on to a tiny thread of hope. These moments are not signs of weakness, they are the foundation of your inner strength. Anyone can keep going when life is easy. Only the strong keep going when life is complicated. You have no idea how powerful you truly are because you focus only on your struggles and ignore your victories. But think about it, how many storms have you survived? How many situations tried to break you, but you came out stronger? How many times did life push you to your limit, yet you refused to collapse? These moments show the real you, the version of you that you overlook but others admire.